What's up, Space Pirates? This is your captain, the ever-charming Dread Pirate Dr. Disaster, and today we get to discuss the fact that Indiana Jones 5 keeps getting thrashed at the box office. And not just a little thrashed. I mean that in their second weekend at the box office, they dropped damn near 60%, and they were beaten out by the new Insidious movie as the top dog at the box office this last weekend.
I'm sorry. I haven't laughed that hard since I was a little girl, thank you.
60% they dropped off what was already a really piss-poor first weekend for Indiana Jones 5. We warned them that Lucasfilm needs to change directions or else this would happen. We warned them that doing the old bait and switch where they claimed they were making an Indiana Jones film, but in reality they were making just another girl boss Indiana Jane type movie. We warned them that they were going to make a box office bomb, but they didn't listen.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson?
But do you want to see something funny? Do you want to see evidence that the money is drying up at Lucasfilm and that we are winning this thing? This video should be a white pill because they are finally acting like we matter. Lucasfilm put out this thank you message from Harrison Ford on Twitter. Now it looks like a hostage video, the way that it was recorded, but what it really looks like even more than that is an attempt to emulate the energy of Tom Cruise and his now infamous thank you to the fans that went to see Top Gun last year. Needless to say, just like Indiana Jones 5, this just doesn't really land.
You have no power here.
In this video, we are going to have a look at this message sent out by Harrison Ford thanking the fans. And then we are going to look at an interview with James Mangold where he tells us how Lucasfilm really feels about the fans, because of course, in truth, they hate us. And the damage control that they are attempting in the media these days reeks of absolute panic. And it's likely brought on by the rumors, which we will discuss shortly, concerning the possibility that Kathleen Kennedy is either already fired or is about to be. So saddle up your steed and get ready for ludicrous speed, because we are going to be charging ahead into the hilarity of Lucasfilm's complete failure.
Where am I?
The pit of despair.
In just a few short days, Mission Impossible 7 hits theaters, and Disney knows that the jig is up. They know now, fully and completely, that they have been foiled in their attempts to shove Indiana Jones 5 down our throats. You want to know how we can tell that they are finally thinking about what they've done? Granted, I don't think that Lucasfilm will necessarily actually come to the proper conclusion, but they are definitely searching for answers. You can tell because they are attempting to emulate the goodwill that fans have toward Tom Cruise by doing a thank you from Harrison Ford the way that Tom Cruise did after the Top Gun $1.4 billion movie results at the box office. Considering that the next Tom Cruise film is about to hit theaters and eat their lunch, this feels like a pathetic, floundering attempt at public relations by a company that just doesn't know what hit them.
You'll have to excuse my friend. He's a little slow.
Alright, without further ado, here's the clip of Harrison Ford thanking the fans.
For more than 40 years, I've been honored to be your Indiana Jones. Every moment of this adventure has been made for you, the fans, and it's been one of the greatest joys of my career. Thank you for welcoming the man with the hat into your lives for generations. It's meant the world to me to share Indy with all of you. As always, I'll see you at the movies. Unless there are snakes, of course.
Blink 4 times if they've got a gun pointed at you, Harrison. He just doesn't look like he wants to be there doing this at all. And more than that, I think it's funny that he spends the whole time talking about the 40 years of Indiana Jones movies because he can't single out Indiana Jones 5 because there's nothing to thank the fans for with that film because, of course, it is clearly performing abysmally. Now compare his thank you message to this video of Tom Cruise thanking the fans for how well Top Gun did at the theaters.
Hey everyone! Here we are over stunning South Africa, and we're filming Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Parts 1 and 2. And I didn't want the year to end without thanking you all for coming out to the theaters, and thank you for supporting Top Gun Maverick. Hey, cheers, it's Chris McCoy, writer, director. Hi everybody, hey. Thank you. Hey, listen, we really got a room. We got to get this shot. Oh, yeah, we're filming. We got to get this shot. All right, are you coming? Not on your line. Good luck. Okay. We'll see you down there. Whoa. Where was I? Oh, yeah, thank you for supporting Top Gun Maverick. As always, thank you for allowing us to entertain you. It truly is the honor of a lifetime. Yeah. Very lucky. I'm running out of altitude, so I better get back to work. We gotta get this shot. You have a very safe and happy holiday. We'll see you at the movies.
Simply put, there is no comparison. Tom is smiling the whole time and laughing because he's triumphant. His film did well, and he is genuinely thanking us for the support. He's having fun doing what he loves. Now, I'm not trying to be mean to Harrison Ford. I love Harrison Ford, but he clearly just doesn't want to be there. You can see that he doesn't have the same passion as Tom Cruise. But as I said before, it's not hard to tell what the people working at Lucasfilm really think of us when they do interviews like the one that James Mangold recently did with The Hollywood Reporter. In this article, he was asked the following. Life is filled with peaks and valleys, and I appreciate when my fictional heroes, such as Indy, have their own ups and downs. So why does a segment of the audience seem to want these legacy characters to be infallible? I just can't figure out why anyone would want such little drama. Before I go on to his answer from James Mangold, I need to talk about what this jackass just said. We do not want Indiana Jones to be infallible. Indiana Jones has never been infallible. He screws up all the time. But what we like is how he picks himself up. That has been the story of Indiana Jones all along. And the story of Indiana Jones has always been that he searches for some artifact, some relic that he's really wanting to find and bring back to a museum for the fortune and glory, but at the end he sees that there is something to it, something bigger than himself, and he does the right thing, like in Raiders of the Lost Ark, where he closes his eyes and doesn't look at the Ark of the Covenant, or in The Last Crusade, when he lets the Holy Grail go, when he listens to his dad. He has learned that lesson well. So, no, we don't expect him to be infallible. We do expect that he is going to continue to do the right thing and be the hero that we always knew he was going to be. And one other thing, I just want to point out that these people in the media are a freaking hive mind. Serious interviewers do not ask questions like the one I just said, because this isn't really a question. This is a presupposition and an opportunity for James Mangold to build on what the interviewer just said, rather than a genuine question. But let's look at Mangold's response. He said, "Well, There's a point where these characters become symbols more than characters, and so there becomes this anxiety that if you examine the humanity of a hero, you somehow weaken them. And honestly, I can't speak for how fans relate and wrestle with these questions in relation to other movies, but certainly in relation to mine, I think your question almost has my answer built into it. Yup, exactly what I just said. These sycophants in the media parrot shit back to Disney like a bunch of pathetic little pups looking for their master's approval. But he continues, I think you're in a sense already addressing it. Good drama gives a hero a problem. If a movie is about a beautiful hero who is capable of anything and is virtually indestructible and is without any personal issues or concerns, then you just have a fashion video with action. Well, well, well. It sounds to me, Mr. Mangold, that you are describing another series of Lucasfilm projects made in the past few years that sounds like you are describing Rey from the Star Wars sequels. A fashion video with action. Funny how they know, at Lucasfilm, deep down, what a Mary Sue is, but they just can't give us the satisfaction of admitting that we have a point. But in any event, he continues, I am a fan of starting a character in one place to go to another. Movies are a continuum. By definition, in drama, a character starts in one place and ends up in another. So, if people want to be divisive in the age of social media, they can focus on where a character starts as opposed to where they end, or they can focus on where they end as opposed to where they start. In reality, for Harrison, who's playing this character, he's tracing an arc and he's changing through the whole picture, so it all depends on where you're landing and where you're pointing your finger on that timeline. He's calling us divisive. That's what I hear from this answer. He is saying that we are divisive. And he's saying it because we aren't interested in the premise of his movie. We didn't want another Indiana Jones movie. You are only doing this because Disney wanted to milk it like a cow. In other words, if we don't shut up and quietly swallow the swill that they push down our throats, then we are worthy of name-calling. We are worthy of being labeled divisive. This is what they really think of us. People like Mangold and Kennedy won't ever seriously consider what we have to say. They will only ever butter us up if they think it benefits them. Which is why Harrison Ford's thank you was likely put on Twitter in the first place. Because they think it benefits them. They don't really want to do any introspection. They just want to emulate the business model of someone who's doing it so much better. And they're doing that because Kathleen Kennedy has to be feeling the heat. Now, I don't know if I believe the rumors that she will be fired over this disaster of a movie, but the rumors are heating up even more. This headline comes from the website Inside the Magic. Star Wars fans rejoice as Lucasfilm reportedly fires controversial executive. In this article, they report on this tweet from Thwip T, who says he's hearing Kathleen Kennedy is now gone from Lucasfilm. Thwip T has broken accurate news in the industry in the past, so this has been run with by plenty of people as if it's the gospel truth. But there are plenty of articles in the mainstream as well, like this one from Looper, which are circling the wagons for Kathleen Kennedy and calling these rumors completely false. My guess is that's probably correct. I doubt she will be fired yet. I predict that if she does lose her position, it won't be called a firing. She will be allowed to retire gracefully. They will likely blame the Writers Guild strike or something like that, but she will be allowed the optics of walking away of her own accord because they need her to be a female George Lucas. That's how they want to make her seem in the media. But who knows? The only certain things are these. They, that is Lucasfilm, have to be having some very uncomfortable conversations right now concerning the lack of profitability and the weakening of their brands. And they definitely are not sincere when they thank the fans. They are toadying up and trying to emulate the Tom Cruise model, but in all the wrong ways. Rather than do what actually made Top Gun successful and not degrade their character and replace him with a girl boss version, they instead made a silly-ass thank you message. Well, they don't mean it. But I'll tell you who does mean it when they say thank you, and that is me. You may have noticed that I added another ship to the fleet at the beginning of the video because I just hit 5,000 subscribers, and to each and every one of you who subscribed, I want to say thanks from the bottom of my black space pirate heart. Sharing my thoughts with you every day is a blast, and I'm glad to have you along for the ride. Thanks, and we will see you again next time. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your captain is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.